least I was because of my personal experience. So soon after that trip, Florida Realtors hired me. So I left Washington, D.C., moved to Florida, and I ended up being at the Florida Association of Realtors 11 years. We decided then that Florida, as a state association, wasn't doing enough with global and international outreach. Of course, Miami was doing a lot, different locals were doing things, but the state association wasn't doing its part. So we brought the international department at Florida Realtors under me, and I was the senior vice president of public policy. I saw this great connection again between what you could do in advocacy and what could happen in global and economic development. To me, all these things fit together. So the reason this happened, though, was that when I get to Florida, this guy you've probably heard of, Jeb Bush, was the governor. Jeb Bush came to me and said, okay, until the day I became governor, I was a commercial realtor. And I was a member of your association. And I had to give that up to be governor. So here he is governor, and at this point he had been governor 2 or 3 years. He's taking trade missions, and he said on every trade mission, we take these CEOs of companies, they want to talk about selling their widgets. You know, we're helping them promote Florida or their product to the world. But what every CEO, every person he talks to in every country wants to talk about is real estate. Because there's no economic development deal that doesn't involve real estate. And then that company wants to hire people back in the United States, or they want to create jobs, they want a distribution center, they want to know what's the price per square foot if I lease this, what's the cost of living for my employees that I'm going to hire. And he said, we need you on this trip. We need realtors to be on these governor's trade missions. So I went with Governor Bush to Germany. We had a very successful trip. Suddenly I was a resource to him and all the other CEOs and those that were on these trips. So Governor Bush never took another trade mission without me. Then the next governor, Charlie Crist, is elected in Florida. He never took a trade mission without me. The current governor, Rick Scott, who was born in Missouri, by the way, and loves to joke with me about that, never took a trade mission without me being on it. And I would typically try to get the president of Florida Realtors to go along with me. So then, now I'm here, I've been here 2.5 years. Our governor last summer was taking a trip to England for Boeing, because Boeing has such a huge presence here in St. Louis. Boeing's 100th birthday was being held at the Farnborough Air Show. So I got to go to that and be part of that and be the real estate resource on that trip. And it's fascinating. So this relationship now that we've created, the group that pays for the governor's trade missions in Missouri is called the Hawthorne Foundation. So soon after I got here, Missouri Realtors had been involved in the Hawthorne Foundation years ago, but we paid the $10,000 to be a board member again. And soon after getting involved as a board member of the Hawthorne Foundation and helping raise money for the governor's trade missions and to sell Missouri to the world, I was elected to the executive committee of the Hawthorne Foundation. So now I'm one of 11 people on the executive committee that's helping plan these trips, and I'm actually the membership chair. So if anyone wants to join the Hawthorne Foundation, I'll talk to you about that.
Yeah.
But the Hawthorne Foundation wholly funds this group called Missouri Partnership, which is headquartered right here in Clayton. And Missouri Partnership deals with all the international investment coming in. So those of you who were at our meeting last week heard me talk about Missouri Partnership has been able to secure 2,860 jobs just in the first quarter of 2017. But the cool part about that is, because now we have this great relationship, we talk to them about, you know, we've never closed the loop on what does that mean to real estate. We've got all these companies coming or expanding, or they're here for the first time. What does that mean? So they were able to put, for me, on paper, what all those jobs meant in real estate, commercial real estate terms, by the square feet that equates to in new lease space, the square feet that equates to in space that's going to be built to house these companies. It's pretty incredible, the acres that it takes off the market because these properties have now been sold. And it's incredible, the hundreds of thousands of square feet of commercial, industrial, office space that these 2,860 jobs will take. And that's before we even start talking about the housing that will be sold to the people that are taking those jobs. So that's my story of how economic development, global, and advocacy come together, because my work with the governor helps us on all of the other issues that we want to work on, whether it's short-term rentals or tax reform. You know, when you travel with the governor, you get a relationship with them that you wouldn't have otherwise. So it's pretty exciting to me to be able to lead this effort for Missouri Realtors. And I hope that if you have any questions that I can answer those. And I just appreciate the opportunity to be here. I took the CIPS course last summer in Chicago, so I'm wearing my pin that you will all get very soon when you finish your course. So I'm happy to be one of you. We have some great ideas. Donna yesterday had the idea of us creating a community on the landing just for all of our CIPS designees, so that we can communicate with each other in our own community, which will be great to share ideas. And then I'm eager to work with the St. Louis Realtors to create a new global council. That's something that we've been talking to NAR about. And so we're eager to maybe take this to a whole new level, and having all of you with the CIPS designation will help us with that. So